has the importance of fermentations and probiotics to help my own gut flora. And I've pretty much changed my business to really make products that are available that will support our gut flora. One of these is my probiotic fizzy tea. I pick my favorite tea, make it just like I normally would to drink it. I'm making a little bit more of it though. So this is actually 12 cups of a Essiac tea. Now Essiac tea has been around since the 60s. I get it at Star West Botanicals online, and it's a great detox tea. So it's something that I like to drink every day, but now it's twice as good or even more because I'm making it into a broad spectrum probiotic. One thing I'm doing is fermenting, and the other is I'm adding a broad spectrum probiotic and then letting it grow and culture. So we start with the tea. What the probiotic or the ferment eats is sugar. You can't just add fruit. Fructose is not enough to sustain the culturing process. Wouldn't that be nice? Because I certainly prefer to eat fruit. So this is 1 cup of fruit for the 12 cups, and all I did was smash it. Didn't blend it or anything. I just kind of smashed it up, and in it goes. Then I use a 1/4 cup of coconut palm sugar that I melted in boiling water and make it into more of a syrup. See how that's just a thick, fun syrup. And in it goes. Pretty simple. So you would get about 4 different good strains of bacteria just by doing the fruit. I'm into this broad spectrum. So I use a probiotic that this one is Health Force Nutritionals powder, and even though this is what I would take every day, the amount that you need in this 12 cups of tea is again just a pinch, just a dusting, so it doesn't take much. And some people might say that my version, I call this my version of a kombucha, because I, for some reason, don't like the flavor of kombucha as much. It's made of a fungus. This is more direct fermentation and a probiotic growth that it actually ends up tasting somewhat like a kombucha. So this is my version of kombucha. So we don't want any critters to get into it, but it also needs to off-gas. So I put its own little hat on. This is a nylon paint strainer that I use as a nut milk bag, but it's also great to cover things that need to breathe, whether it's cultured cheese that needs to breathe or some of these probiotic drinks. I will sit this at room temperature for 3 to 5 days, depending on how hot it is. And then I will, voila, have a finished product. I stir it twice a day for those 4 or 5 days, and you can see the peach has come to the top, right? So the peach has fermented. See how it's kind of fuzzy, fizzy? That's what we're going to capture when we bottle it, so that'll give us a nice fizz. What I do is normally I pour this through a strainer, but let me just show you the idea. So these great peaches that were used to ferment. The first time I did this and I didn't know to strain those out, we all learn, it keeps fermenting, keeps the process going, and I sell it in a bottle like this or a jar. Well, a customer took this off and it just kind of exploded all over everybody at the farmer's market. So I take the peaches out now because they'll just keep fermenting, and pretty much you'll have alcohol pretty quick. But let's stop the process sooner, and that's also really important to know, is how do you stop the culturing process? It's by chilling it, taking out the medium that is fermenting, so the peaches in this case. The sugar, I'm not so interested in sugar, so the way I try to do this and why my customers call it strong is I put in enough sugar to keep it growing for the 4 or 5 days, but I want it to be all eaten up in the culturing process. So hopefully it's not a really sweet probiotic tea. So a couple of things, I could just strain it into these nice little bottles, but you want to have a cap on it, right? So you're going to want to actually refrigerate this, hold in the CO2 that makes the fizzy part, because that's what we're saying. We wanted to make a fizzy drink. If you don't keep a cap on it, or you keep it loose, it's still a great drink. It's just flat, and that's okay too. Let's see how I did. So here's 2 jars that I bottled with my last batch, and I don't know that you can see it, but I'm hoping that the lids are a little bit pushed up so that there's a little pressure in here. Now, a couple of things about that. I do warn customers if it's a batch that has been around a little while, it may have more fizz to it. And you can also see there's sediment in the bottom. That's one from the tea, but also some of the particles from the peach. So if I shook this up, boom, right? So let's not do that. Let's take a little of the pressure off. So let's just see. Can we hear it? I heard a little. Let's try again. Don't know if you could hear it. I did. And now it's going to overgo. See? I didn't shake it. And that is what happens. So this is a great batch. And I've got to give people a towel so that they can keep it from going all over. But did you see how I closed this one down quick? That's what you can do. If you do release the pop and you see that it's going to keep fizzing, just close it back down and take the oxygen away from it. And just give it a little time. And then if it's really strong, I just keep opening it every 3 to 4 minutes until it no longer is going to explode. So let's see if this one's going to take off too. I'm afraid to show it to you because if I tilt it, but let's see. Wow, looks pretty. And this is just a detox tea with fermented peaches and a broad spectrum probiotic. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh, nice, smooth. Still got a nice fizz to it, so it's effervescent, but it's smooth. It's not, sometimes I can have them go too long and then it's more acidic, but it's not too sweet. So I think I hit it, and you will too. Thanks for watching. Bye. I'm gonna try.